Phosphoreating tree. Rescue. Wolf had a bubble hit. He and Biff were blowing bubbles. Wow, these bubbles are huge, said Biff. Suddenly, the magic key began to glow. The key is glowing, said Wolf. Where will the magic take us this time? The magic took them to a flat, rocky place. There were no trees, and all around them were high mountains. There's nothing here, said Wolf. Why was the magic key brought us here? I don't know, said Biff. Suddenly, they heard the sound of an aeroplane. They both looked up. Wolf points. There's a plane, he called. I think it's trying to land. It's an odd place to land a plane, said Biff. I hope it can make it. The aeroplane flew around in a circle. It came in very low. Then it touched the ground. The plane bounced on the rough ground. It bumped on the rock and stones. Wolf held his breath. I think it's going to crash, he said. Then one of the wheels hit the rotor. There was a crunch as the wheel has turned off. The plane spun around and stopped. One of the wings had been ripped away. Biff and Wolf went to the plane. I hope the pilot isn't hurt, gasped Biff. The pilot came out of the wrecked plane. She looked at the torn off wheel and broken wing. Biff and Wolf raced up. The pilot took off her goggles and looked at them. I've had better landings, she said. I know you, said Biff. It was Princess Asia. Biff and Wolf had met her in another adventure. Goodness, said Asia, it's you again. Why have you crashed? Asked Biff. I didn't mean to, said Asia. My sister Lisa had been kidnapped. I come to rescue her. Will you help me? Said Lisa. There's no time to waste. We have to find my sister and get her away safely. But how will we do that? You don't have a plane now, asked Biff. I'll think of something, said Asia. They set off. They came to a steep rock face. Asia climbed up. Next, she helped Biff. Then she let down the rope to Wolf. Now it's your turn, Wolf. Tie the rope on, but take it slowly. This is scary, said Wolf as he climbed up. At last, they came to a fort high up on a cliff. It had thick walls and heavy doors. That's where Lisa is, said Asia. But how will you get her out of there? Asked Biff. I'll think of something, said Asia, but keep out of sight. Asia put her hands together. She blew into them to make a noise like a bird. Then they saw someone wave from a window. There she is, cried Asia. She heard me. But we can't climb up there, said Wolf. No, she'll have to climb down, said Asia. Asia told Biff and Wolf to keep a lookout. She tried to throw a rope up to Lisa. At first, she couldn't throw high enough. She tried again and again. At last, Lisa managed to grab the rope. Biff and Wolf were keeping a lookout. They heard shouting. Someone's coming, hissed Biff. What shall we do? Try and stop them, said Asia. But how? asked Biff. You think of something, said Asia. Wolf to think of something. He had an idea. He remembered the bubble hit and began to blow bubbles. The bubble drifted toward the men. They had never seen huge bubbles before. They chased after them and tried to pot them. Lisa dropped to the ground. Well done, said Asia. Wolf blew one more strings of bubble. Now, Warren, he hissed. The others ran quickly. See, I knew you'd think of something, said Asia. At first, they thought they had got away. Then Wolf looked back. The men were chasing them. They saw a lorry. "I'll try it and start it," said Isha. "You stop the man." "How do we do that?" yelled Biff. "You think of something," said Isha. There was a pile of tires in the lorry. They gave Biff an idea. "Roll the tires onto the road," she shouted. They rolled the tires on the track. They bounced towards the man. "That will stop them," shouted Lisa. Isha started the lorry. "Hold on tight," she shouted. Biff, Wolf, and Lisa cheered as the lorry rolled around the track. "Hooray, we made it," laughed Isha. "That was great." The road was very steep and narrow. The lorry drove and bumped over the through rocks and loose stones. "Hang on," yelled Isha. "Watch out," shouted Lisa. "We don't want to end up in the river." Suddenly, the road started to slip away. It was sliding into a fjord. "Look out," shouted Lisa. "There's a landslide. The road is slipping down the hill." Isha tried to stop the lorry, but it was too late. The lorry began to slide down the gorge. It went faster and faster, crashing over rocks and tearing through bushes. "Oh no," called the wolf. "We're heading straight for the river." "Hang on," shouted Isha. The lorry stopped on the edge of the river. The front wheels hung over the rocky bank. "Phew," said Isha. "That was close." "Now what are we going to do?" asked the Biff. "I don't know," said Isha, "but we'll think of something." Biff and Isha looked back to the road. In the distance, they saw the man coming. "We'd better think of something quickly," said Lisa. "Those men will be here soon." "We have to get away from them," said Isha. "We can't let them catch us." Wolf found some inner tubes in the back of the lorry. He had an idea. "We can float down the river in these tubes," he said. "We just have to blow them up." Isha looked in the back of the lorry and found the pump. She began to inflate tubes. She pumped up in the last one just in time. The children each sat on one tube and Isha pushed them out into the river. She jumped into the last tube just as the man clambered down to the water. "Ha! Too late!" she shouted. The four of them floated downstream on the rubber tubes. They moved quickly down the fast-flowing river. They passed through a narrow gorge. It had tall, steep sides. Then the gorge grew narrower. The river began to flow faster. Ahead, they could see foaming water. "This is scary," called the Biff. "I can see water ahead. What if it is a waterfall?" "Don't worry," called Isha. "We'll think of something." The water rushed and rolled through the gorge. The tubes boxed and bumped through the river as they went faster and faster. "Hang on tighty," yelled Isha. "It won't last long." "I'm getting wet," shouted Wolf. "At least there isn't a waterfall," said Biff. At last they floated into clam water. "Wow, that was exciting," said Lisa. Biff looked down the river. She saw a boat coming towards them. "Oh, help," she said. "It looks like those men again. Now what we are going to do?" Isha and Lisa laughed. "We're back safely in my kingdom now," said Isha. "These are my people." She shook everyone's hand. "I bet not many people arrive here on an inner tube," laughed the wolf. The man said they would take Isha and Lisa home to their palace. "The key is glowing. It's time to go," said Biff. "We won't be able to ride on the camel." "Goodbye, thank you for helping," said Isha. "Goodbye," called the wolf. "That was an exciting adventure," said Biff. "I liked Princess Isha. She was fun." Chip came into Biff's room. "Shall we go outside to play?" he asked. "What shall we play?" asked Biff. "You think of something," grinned the wolf.